Hi, it's Mark here again with another quick tutorial. In this particular case, I noticed recently that there was a Blender guide on how to make a quick tablecloth for a table. Now, I've got a table here that I've pre-made. If anyone wants to know how to make this literally in 2 minutes, just let me know. It's very quick and easy, but I just want to show you how to create a tablecloth from this quite quickly as well. Again, there's a few techniques in this. One of them is, first of all, that you start here, press G just to get onto the main Probuilder section there, and we'll just select this like so. What we're going to do, we want to keep that same surface. We just want to right click and duplicate, not Control D, etc. We want to duplicate the faces. Alright, we want to duplicate them and create them as a new game object. Now you can detach, but that will take the table off, so you want to duplicate and make sure it's game object. So click on confirm, like so. Just go back to move tool. So I press W on the keyboard for that, and we just want to go on to 1 meter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this 1 meter up. Just lost it for a moment on the screen, but there it is. Just keep it away from the main table. Okay, so from here, again, we keep on G, but this time we go on to lines. Now what we want to do, we want to deselect all these. So all you have to do is keep the control key down, left click the mouse just to undo those. You've now got all the edges selected. Now from here we want to go to R on the keyboard to get to scale, I should say. Control and shift, and then just come out like so. What we'll do, you don't have to be exact, you can change it later on, but you just want to make something that when we then bring it up again, we actually ran the wrong way here, so I'll just get back to the red X there. So we're in that position, so we know where we are. We're looking north, as it were. It doesn't have to be, but it's quite handy, you know, when you're trying to keep in position. Now you can press W and just come down. Now I think what we'll do, we'll come down to 0.5, so half a meter. Pretty much the legs are a meter high on the table, so we only want to go down so far, as you can see from the perspective there. You want to go on to the R key again for scale and just bring this in like so. Okay, so you say, well, yeah, that's a tablecloth, not looking great, is it? Well, it's not, no. So what we do, there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can either create some more vertices on each of these lines here, all the way round, or you can just select the up and down like so, press Alt E, just to create a part in there. Oh, sorry, just a bit hand-fisted there. So you keep the shift key down and then left click on those and Alt E. Same again. Right. So the reason I'm doing it this way, it's nice and easy because I'm just going to make 3 lines on each one. So all you have to do is create the middle one. Then you know the other 2 will be in a nice even position in the middle as well, so that keeps it fairly uniform. I appreciate that you might want to change this at some stage, but it's probably best to keep it nice and uniform initially, then you can tweak it later on. But it's always important to get a model finished, even if it's in its crude position. Sorry, I'm a bit hand-fisted here today, all fingers and thumbs, so we'll just press Alt and left click. I'll hurry this up a bit because it's probably a bit boring watching it, not particularly therapeutic for you, I'm sure. I'm just doing this in a manual way so you can see easily what I'm doing. Slightly laborious. I think there are better ways and quicker ways of doing this, but just wanted to keep this simple at the moment. Go on to vertices. Now, what you've got is all these 3 vertices. So we keep the shift key down and choose them all carefully. I've always found if you try to race too quick, you end up deselecting things, which is not much good. So just go very carefully and methodically. Go onto the R key for scale. And I'm just going to bring those in a bit. You can see that looks a little bit like a tablecloth already. I just want to now choose the middle one of those vertices. And it doesn't have to come out very far, but we'll keep the control key down. We don't have to keep the control key down, and this is quite uniform, so if you wanted to sort of make this a little bit more irregular, by all means, but I'm just keeping it sort of straightforward at the moment. So now looks like we've got a wooden tablecloth which is not much good. So what we'll do, we'll go into some of my prepared items, and I'm just going to choose a sort of random, it could be anything, but a white or an off-white tablecloth would look good. So from now we go on to 1, because if I remember we threw it 1 meter above the table and we come back down. Now you can see you've got a little bit of a sort of a marking there where it's basically the same, exactly the same height, so they're having an argument. So what we do, instead of -1 here for the height for the tablecloth, we say minus 0.99. It really is 1 centimetre you're talking about here. That's 99 centimetres now, but it just gets rid of that what we call like a deadly embrace, where they're both having an argument as to who's taken up that position. Okay, so first of all, that's okay as it is, and if you're keeping it sort of blocky, that will be perfectly okay. But if you press G, go on to face and choose hidden, choose the whole lot like so, and just come into, I really am hand-fisted today, I keep flicking past the area I want. Open smoothing editor. I'll just choose an option there to get the normals. These are all normals that reflect light and sort of keep everything smooth. And there we are. It's not the greatest of materials, so if I wanted to make it a little bit shiny, I could, but then that sort of messes it up because it's the wrong colour. But what we can do is, for instance, if you wanted a nice shiny plastic one, you could change it to that as well. But you can see how it shines, and it does look like a tablecloth. That's more of a sort of a cafe type of tablecloth that's easily cleaned. That's why cafes have shiny tablecloths like that, normally plastic. Okay, as I say, it's entirely up to you what colour you want, but that is an easy way and a quick way to create a tablecloth for a table, and you've got lots of options to customize that to make it look really smart as you go along, but you've got the basics. Okay, hopefully that's something that is useful, and again, it's one in the eye for Blender, because you can, although I love Blender and I think it's fantastic, I want to promote Probuilder because I love it as well. Okay, so thanks for watching, and see you on the next tutorial. Bye.